The whole thing started with a parent-teacher meeting. I, Wayne, 28 years old, a junior product manager at an internet company, with a monthly salary just over $10,000, renting a place in a urban village, and my biggest asset is a second-hand electric scooter. She, Sunny, 26 years old, CEO of Swell Group, a Forbes 30 under 30 honoree, with assets that have more zeros than I can count. The only thing we have in common, we are both guardians of my nephew. My sister got pregnant out of wedlock, gave birth to a child, and passed away, leaving behind my nephew Toby. Meanwhile, Sunny's brother and sister-in-law also died in a car accident, leaving their nephew Timmy. Toby and Timmy are desk mates, and they became acquainted after getting into a fight. As the guardian, I went to the school to apologize. In the principal's office, I met Sunny for the first time. She was wearing a black suit skirt, her hair neatly pinned up, sitting there like an ice sculpture. The principal, a peacemaker, said, "Both guardians, a fight between children is a minor issue, but as their guardians, you need to communicate more." Sunny glanced at me, her look resembling that of someone eyeing a cockroach. "I suggest having the two children switch seats. I suggest you learn to speak like a human first," I blurted out. The air froze. She stared at me for 3 seconds, then did something I didn't expect, she smiled. Not a polite smile, but one that said, "This is interesting. Mr. Wayne, I'd like to discuss a business deal with you." "What business?" "A fake marriage." The water bottle in my hand dropped. "I'll give you $5 million, with a $2 million advance payment arriving immediately, and the remaining $3 million paid after the marriage ends. Additionally, you can live in a villa under my name, and the Mercedes in the garage is yours to drive." The calculator in my head was clicking away. This might be more money than I could earn in a lifetime. But reason told me, nothing good falls from the sky without a catch. "Why me?" "First, you're Toby's uncle, and I'm Timmy's aunt, the two kids are brothers now, making it easier to take care of them. Second, you're poor and easy to control." "Could you have left out that last part?" She paused. "Third, and the main reason I need a fake marriage, is that my grandfather is dying. His only wish is to see me get married. I don't want him to pass away with regrets." I was silent for 10 seconds. A man's knees are worth their weight in gold, now was the time to cash in. Deal. Getting the marriage certificate was absurdly fast. Early the next morning, Sunny's assistant picked me up in a car, with a full set of suit, tie, and leather shoes ready, even new underwear. "Put it on," the assistant said expressionlessly. "Who bought these underwear?" "Sunny picked them out herself." I froze for a moment, a vivid image of Sunny picking out underwear for me in the lingerie section of a mall flashing through my mind, sending a chill down my spine. At the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau, Sunny was waiting for me in a white dress, wearing light makeup, looking 10 times more beautiful than usual. She grabbed my arm and pulled me inside. "Don't just stand there, let's go in and sign." The staff glanced at us. "Voluntary?" "Voluntary." Sunny smiled. "Did she pay you?" The staff turned to ask me. "And no." I wiped my sweat nervously. "We're true love." Sunny pinched my waist, causing me to wince in pain. With the marriage certificate in hand, I flipped through it 3 times to confirm I wasn't dreaming. After getting in the car, Sunny said, "From now on, we are husband and wife. We have to act well in front of others. And in private?" "Privately, we don't interfere with each other." "Okay, may I ask when the advance payment will be credited?" She gave me a disdainful look, and my phone dinged with a bank message, 2 million yuan credited. Staring at that string of zeros, I almost burst into tears. My sister was right back then, my greatest talent in life is just being lucky. The first test came 3 days later. Sunny's grandfather was turning 92, and the whole family was gathering for a celebration. Sunny was going to formally introduce me to everyone. I stood at the entrance of her family's old mansion, wearing a custom-made suit that Sunny had ordered for me, my legs feeling a bit weak. Sunny linked her arm through mine. "Don't chicken out. Just think about the 2 million in your bank account. I miss you, but I'm even more scared. If I mess this up, I'll have to refund the 2 million, right? No need to refund. Then I'm not afraid anymore. Sonny was speechless. Dozens of people were seated in the hall, all dressed impeccably, looking at me as if I were a monkey in a zoo. Sonny's father sat in the main seat, his expression grim. Her mother, on the other hand, was all smiles, but I couldn't shake the feeling that those smiles hid knives. Sonny's father looked me up and down. So you're Wayne. What do you do for a living? Product manager. He frowned. Product manager. What product? An app, the kind you use on your phone. Sonny quickly interjected to introduce him. This is my father. He works in real estate. Her father let out a snort. Sensing the atmosphere turning cold, Sonny's grandfather was brought out. In his 90s, sitting in a wheelchair, he was still in good spirits. Sonny, is this your husband? Grandpa squinted at me. Sonny obediently crouched down. Yes, Grandpa. Young man, come here. I walked over, and Grandpa took my hand. Are you good to our Sonny? Is your relationship good? Good, very good. What's so good about it? I thought for a moment and decided to take a gamble. Grandpa, let me tell you something. Last month, Sonny went to a friend's party and drank too much. Her assistant was unreliable and ran off halfway. It just so happened that I ran into her at that time, and I was the one who took her back to the hotel. That's not the point. The point is, after she entered the room, she started, how should I put it, a personal talent show. Grandpa became interested. What kind of talent? First, she hugged the toilet and sang for half an hour, and she actually hit the highest notes. Then she felt hot, took off her coat, and walked the catwalk in her underwear, making her own sound effects as she walked, ding 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 ding. I imitated the catwalk, and someone at the table started holding back laughter. The best part was, she somehow found a shower cap from somewhere, put it on her head, and said to the mirror, I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. Then she started dancing, and her moves were so spot on, you could tell she'd secretly practiced. Sonny's ears were as red as if they were about to bleed. I turned to look at her and delivered the final blow. The next morning when she woke up, she asked me if she had embarrassed herself the night before. I said no, that she slept very well. She believed me and even gave me a 500 tip. Ha ha ha. Grandpa was the first to burst out laughing so hard he slapped the table. Sonny's father's expression shifted from livid to complicated. He looked at me, then at his daughter. Sonny's face went from white to red to black. 3 seconds later, the old man suddenly laughed and raised his glass. You're quite interesting. Come, a toast to you. I raised my glass and downed it in one gulp. Sonny's father said nothing more, but he no longer objected either. The atmosphere instantly relaxed. A few cousins also laughed, and Sonny's mother even wiped away tears. Sonny gritted her teeth and whispered in my ear, when have I ever been drunk? I said quietly, artistic license. But your grandfather laughed, it was worth it. She didn't say anything more, but I felt her hand tighten slightly on my arm. At the banquet, Sonny's former suitor showed up. Lucas, the heir apparent of a listed company, looked like the male lead from a TV drama but stared at me as if I were a pile of crap. He walked over with a wine glass. Sonny, is this the husband you found? A working stiff making $10,000 a month? I was about to snap back when Sonny spoke first, he's my husband. Please show some respect. Lucas sneered, respect. Sonny, your dad told me, this is just a fake marriage for appearances. You might fool your grandfather, but you can't fool me. Sonny's face changed. I patted her hand and walked up to Lucas. Bro, you're right. I am indeed poor. But there's one thing I'm better at than you. What is it? I can make her laugh. You can only annoy her. Lucas's face darkened. I continued, do you know why? Because when you chase her, you want to possess her. But when I married her, I wanted to take care of her. You buy her bags, I cook her meals. You take her to Michelin-starred restaurants, I take her to eat street food. Tell me, who do you think she'd rather be with? The whole room fell silent. Sunny looked at me with a complicated expression. Lucas turned and walked away, leaving behind a parting remark, "Just you wait." I turned to Sunny with a smile. "Honey, was I cool just now?" She said shyly, "Shut up. Oh, by the way, that part just now counts as extra service, you'll have to pay more." She finally smiled. In the first month of our marriage, I discovered Sunny's secret. Out in the world, she was a business queen. At home, she was a life idiot. On the first day I moved into her villa, I found that the fridge contained only mineral water and face masks. "Don't you eat?" "My assistant brings it." "Does the assistant also deliver on weekends?" "I go to the company to eat on weekends." "You also go to the company on weekends?" "What else?" I opened her kitchen, and all the pots and pans were brand new, with the tags still on. "Sunny, from today on, I'll cook." "You can cook. Let me show you what a real chef is." She rolled her eyes, but that evening, she still sat at the dining table and ate the meal I had cooked. With the first bite, she was stunned. With the second bite, her eyes lit up. With the third bite, she cried. "What's wrong? Not to your taste." She wiped her tears. "No, it's just that since my brother passed away, I've been trying my best to keep the group afloat. Every day, aside from sleeping, I'm working at the company. It's been a long time since I've had a meal at home." At that moment, something in my heart was touched. But the next second, she returned to her aloof demeanor. "Tomorrow, make you xiang rou si, fish-flavored shredded pork. Add more money. Have you finished spending the 2 million in your account?" I haven't finished spending it, but the feeling of spending money is different from the feeling of earning it. Spending money is enjoyable, but earning money is even more satisfying. You're truly the stingiest rich person I've ever met. Thank you for the compliment. Children are our glue. Toby and Timmy used to be at odds, but ever since we got married, the two kids suddenly became brothers. One day, Toby asked me, "Uncle, is Auntie really your wife?" "Of course she is. Why are you sleeping in separate rooms?" Cold sweat trickled down my back. Because Auntie snores." Timmy popped up from the side. "Liar. Auntie doesn't snore at all, she sleeps really quietly." I quickly covered it up. "Then it must be me who snores." Toby said seriously, "Then you can go get it treated. A classmate's dad in our class used to snore too, but he got surgery and it was fine." I suddenly said, "Have you guys finished your homework?" The two kids ran off, faster than rabbits. That evening, I told Sunny about it. She was silent for a moment, then said, "How about you move to my room to sleep? The bed is big enough anyway, we can put a pillow in the middle." "Are you inviting me?" "This is to avoid getting caught." "Fine, but I'm warning you, I'm a restless sleeper. If you move around, I'll kick you off." The first night, I was as nervous as if I were going on my first blind date. Sunny, however, fell asleep quickly, breathing evenly, her eyelashes trembling slightly. I stole a glance at her. Damn, she was beautiful. Then I fell asleep, and when I woke up the next day, I found that I had pushed her to the edge of the bed, my pillow had been kicked away, and my hand was resting on her waist. She woke up, looked at my hand, then at me. I sheepishly withdrew my hand. "I told you I'm not a quiet sleeper." She turned her face away, her ears turning red. "Sleep on the floor next time." Oh wow, the aloof female CEO is blushing. I'm feeling pretty pleased with myself. In the second month, I started to get bold. One day, she went to the company for a board meeting and came back fuming. I was cooking when she walked in and threw her bag onto the sofa. "What's wrong?" "Those old geezers on the board are trying to sideline me." "Let them set it up then. You take a break." "If I take a break, the company will be finished." "Even if it's finished, you've already made enough. It's not like you're short on money." She glared at me, "You don't understand." I walked over and grabbed her chin. "I may not understand. But I do know one thing, you need to eat right now. No getting angry before eating, it's bad for your stomach." With my hand on her chin, she stared wide-eyed, like a cat with its fur bristling. You, let go of me. Promise me you won't be angry while eating first. Wayne. Call me husband. She didn't say anything. I continued, are you going to call me or not? She gritted her teeth. Husband. Be good, go wash your hands. She went, but I heard her cursing me for 3 minutes in the bathroom. The next day, her assistant quietly said to me, Mr. Wayne, Sunny is in a particularly good mood today. Do you know why? I don't know. She said someone was looking after her last night, and she found it quite heartwarming. I was taken aback for a moment, then smiled. This woman, so starved for affection, was truly pitiful. No, actually, she was truly adorable. In the 3rd month, the crisis arrived. Lucas hadn't given up and teamed up with several shareholders of Swell Group to force Sunny out of power. They had in their hands an agreement left behind by Sunny's late brother, stating that Sunny had promised to hand over management control of the company if she got married. Sunny said with a pale face, that agreement was signed by my brother when he was drunk, so it's legally invalid. But if they want to take it to court, the company will be dragged down. Then what should we do? What can I do? Either I fight them in court and the company takes a heavy blow, or I give up management rights and let them take over. Which one will you choose? I don't want to choose either. I thought about it all night. The next day, I went to Lucas's company. Lucas sat in his executive chair, crossing his legs. What are you here for? To negotiate a deal. Are you worthy? I smiled and said, I'm not worthy, but my wife is. Do you know how many shares she holds right now? Lucas squinted. What are you trying to say? I'm saying that if you force her out, she'll sell all her shares to your competitors. Then you'll be taking over a shell of a company. Is that really what you want? Lucas's expression changed. I continued, why don't you try a different approach? Partner with her, you become the vice president, and she becomes the president. You take the money, she takes the power. It's a win-win. Why should I trust you? You don't have to trust me, but you have to trust her. She's a businesswoman, she won't turn her back on money. Lucas was silent for a long time. How can you guarantee she'll agree? I'll sleep next to her. My words carry weight. Lucas's face darkened. 3 days later, Sunny told me that Lucas had dropped the lawsuit and agreed to the cooperation plan. She looked at me. How did you do it? A man's way. What way? Playing dirty. She didn't ask any further, but I saw her smile. At that moment, I knew that this wild boar from the countryside had started to root for the cabbage in the city. The good times didn't last long. Lucas pretended to cooperate on the surface, but secretly looked into my background. He found out that Sunny and I were in a fake marriage and even took photos of us sleeping in separate rooms. He threw the evidence in front of Sunny. Either you give up management rights, and I'll keep this to myself. Or I'll make these photos public, and your family will lose all face. Sunny's face turned pale. I looked at the photos and smiled. Lucas frowned. What are you smiling about? I pushed the photo back. I'm laughing at how stupid you are. Take a closer look, the days we slept in separate rooms were during her period. Did you capture that? No. You only caught us sleeping apart, not me bringing her brown sugar water in the middle of the night. You're threatening her with this. Do you think outsiders would believe it? Lucas's face changed color. I stood up, walked up to him, and lowered my voice, and one more thing, try touching her again. I may be poor, but I've got nothing to lose. If you dare come near her again, I'll show you that even a wild boar from the countryside can bite. Lucas stood up. Are you threatening me? I smiled. This isn't a threat, it's a notice. He turned and walked away, shooting me a fierce glare before leaving. The door closed, and Sunny collapsed onto the sofa. Are you crazy? His dad is. I cut her off. I know who his dad is. But I'm not afraid. Because I have nothing to lose, and they do. Sunny looked at me, her eyes reddening. I handed her a tissue. "Don't cry. You won't look good with tears." Her voice trembled slightly. "Wayne, why are you doing this?" "Because it's written in the contract. I have to fulfill my spousal obligations." That was fake. But I think, sometimes, what's real and what's fake doesn't really matter that much. She didn't say a word. That night, for the first time, she leaned on my shoulder of her own accord. I thought it was all over. But a month later, Lucas exposed everything online. He claimed Sunny had faked a marriage to deceive the family, and attached photos of us sleeping in separate rooms, along with a so-called copy of the agreement. The public opinion exploded. Swell Group stock price plummeted, and the board of directors demanded that Sunny be suspended pending an investigation. Sunny locked herself in her room and didn't come out all day. In the evening, I knocked on the door. "Sunny, open up. I want to be alone for a while." "Enough with the alone time, any more and you'll become a monk." "Open up, I brought barbecue." The door opened. Her eyes were swollen like walnuts. I handed her the barbecue. "Eat." She took a bite, and tears fell again. "Wayne, let's get a divorce." I was stunned. She sniffled. "This has blown up so big. Only if we divorce and admit to a contractual marriage can we calm the public opinion. I'll give you the final payment, $3 million, not a penny less. And then? Then you go your way, and I'll go mine. What about Toby and Timmy? They will understand. What about your grandfather?" Her voice choked. "He's no longer here. He passed away last week." "I didn't tell you." I fell silent. She wiped her tears. "Wayne, we're from different worlds. You grew up in the village, free and unrestrained. I've been learning management since I was a child, reading people's expressions, walking on eggshells. You know how to make people happy, I only know how to disappoint them. You have principles, I have calculations. You can cook, I can only eat. You snore when you sleep, I talk in my sleep. You talk in your sleep. I focused on the wrong thing." She glared at me. "That's not the point." "Then what is the point?" "The point is, we're not right for each other." I sat down and thought for a long time. "You're right, we're not right for each other." I stood up. "But you forgot one thing." "What is it?" "The contract says the marriage can only end with mutual consent." "I don't consent." She was stunned. "So, no divorce." "Wayne, don't be stubborn." I looked into her eyes. "I'm not being stubborn. Sunny, the best decision I've ever made in my life was agreeing to you at that parent-teacher meeting. It wasn't because of the money. It was because of you. You know, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and also the most foolish. You're good at everything except taking care of yourself. You're strong in every way, but you don't know how to show weakness. You need someone by your side to tell you, enough, stop, have a bite to eat, get some sleep." She cried. I held her. "I like you, Sunny. Not because of the money, but because of you." She pounded my chest. "You're lying. You're just after the money." All right, I'm after the money. So will you let me keep earning it?" She laughed through her tears. But the next day, she still left. She left a note, "I'm going abroad for a while. Once the heat dies down, we'll get divorced. I'll transfer the money to you. Take care of Toby and Timmy." I called her like crazy, but her phone was off. I crouched in the airport terminal, feeling for the first time that money really isn't everything. On the third day, Toby asked me, "Uncle, when is Auntie coming back?" "Soon." Timmy said from the side, "You're lying. Auntie won't come back once she leaves. She's always been like this, running away whenever something happens." I was taken aback. That's right, that's exactly the kind of person she is. Capable, but cowardly. When faced with a problem, her first instinct isn't to solve it, but to escape. And me? What kind of person am I? I'm the kind who has no shame. I bought a plane ticket and flew to find her. I found the hotel where she was staying, but the front desk wouldn't let me in. So I waited in the lobby. After 6 hours, she finally came downstairs. Seeing me, she was stunned. Why are you here? I'm here to take you home. I'm not going back. Then I'm not going back either. Wayne, stop messing around. I walked over and grabbed her hand. I'm not messing around. Sonny, listen to me. I've already taken care of the Lucas situation. What? I went to the media and released our complete surveillance footage. It shows you covering me with a blanket in the middle of the night, me making brown sugar water for you, and us helping the kids with their homework together. Public opinion has already turned around, everyone says we're truly in love. The stock price has recovered, and the board has revoked the suspension decision. Her eyes widened. How did you do that? I spent $2 million to hire a PR firm. Are you crazy? That's your money. Yeah, but I thought about it. Isn't making money meant to be spent? Spending it on you is worth it. She cried. I pulled out a box. Also, this is for you. When opened, there was a gold ring inside. I wanted to buy a diamond ring, but this is all the money I had left. She looked at the ring and cried even harder. Marry me, Sonny. For real this time. She threw herself into my arms, crying like a child. But fate had one more twist for me. On the day we returned home, Sonny fainted on the plane. At the hospital, the doctor came out with a strange look on his face. She's pregnant, 6 weeks. I was stunned. The doctor asked, is the child yours? No shit. Of course. Wait, I turned to look at Sonny, is it mine? Sonny turned her face away. Who else's did you think it was? Haven't we been sleeping in separate rooms all along? You forgot. Last month when you got drunk. I remembered. Last month I got drunk, stumbled into her room in the middle of the night, and woke up the next morning in her bed, with her in my arms. I thought we just slept. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Her face turned red. I just found out too. I crouched beside the hospital bed, holding her hand. Sonny, you really can't escape this time. Who said I was running? You ran away last time. It was an accident. I won't let an accident happen this time. She smiled. The wedding was held at the old house. Sonny wore a white wedding dress and makeup, looking unbelievably beautiful. I wore a suit, one I had chosen myself. Are you wearing that? Sonny said disdainfully. I don't have any money left, it's all spent. I've already transferred that $2 million back to you. Then I won't spend it either. I'll save it to buy milk powder for the kids. She smiled. Although Grandpa is no longer with us, Sonny's mother held my hand and said, Wayne, my daughter has always been strong-willed since she was a child. She doesn't know how to act cute or give in easily. Please be patient with her. Mom, don't worry. I can handle it. Sonny glared at me. Who told you to call her mom? Your mom told me to call you. Sonny's mom laughed. Yes, I told him to call you. At the wedding, Lucas actually showed up. He walked over with a glass of wine, and I thought he was going to start trouble again. He lowered his head and said, I'm sorry. I lost. I was stunned. He smiled bitterly. Sonny, you found a good husband. A man who would spend every last penny he had to handle your public relations, a man who would fly abroad to bring you home, that's better than any rich second-generation guy. With that, he left. Sonny looked at me, her eyes reddening again. I said, don't cry. Today is a good day. She sniffled. I'm not crying. It's the wind and sand. How could there be sand and dust indoors? Mind your own business. A year later. It was our son's 1-month celebration, another family gathering. Sonny wore a white dress, and I wore a plaid shirt. The scene was the same as a year ago, but what was different was that she now had a child in her arms, and I had a baby bottle in my hand. She suddenly said, Wayne, do you still remember our agreement? Yes, a fake marriage, and you would give me 5 million. And now? Is it real or fake? I thought for a moment and said, it's real. Should I return the remaining 3 million to you? I smiled, sure, why not? But you can pay in installments, over a lifetime. She rolled her eyes, I'm not that stingy. That's called being thrifty. Everyone had left for the night, and I was putting the child to sleep while she watched me from the side. Wayne. Thank you. For what? Thank you for not giving up on me. I turned to look at her. You know, I've always remembered that one thing you said back then. What was it? You're poor, easy to control. She blushed, I was just joking. I smiled, I know, but you were right about one thing. I am indeed easy to control, controlled by you. She lunged at me to hit me. I dodged, then hugged her and the child. The moonlight outside was beautiful, and the room was warm. By the way, I'm still wondering about one thing, will I ever get that 3 million final payment or not?